Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to start a new series called Fat Loss Basics. So Adam and I were talking, and it's been a while since we really went back to the beginning and said, here are the steps that if you're a beginner, maybe this is all new to you, you really have to backtrack and fill in some of those blanks before you move on to the advanced work. And so, Adam, there has been a great shift in just the understanding of energy balance. And I think it comes down to a couple of the opinion leaders in our industry having competed and giving kind of voice to the fact that these myths about metabolic damage and how you need to eat more, quote unquote, to actually lose body fat is just ridiculous. And I think of one person in particular, Eric Helms, who competed last year. And I know at his first show, he wasn't quite as lean as he thought he would be. And like a lot of us, you think, gosh, man, I thought I was leaving it all on the field. So then he got kind of pissed, I think, and he just went for it. And he was down to 1,300 calories, 1,400 calories as a pretty normal sized guy, like 170, 180 pounds. And as he started writing about that, all of a sudden, a lot of people are thinking, gosh, if he needs to be on 1,400 calories a day, I mean, why am I complaining as a female eating 1,600 a day or something like that? So let's break this down into what the human body really needs. What's a normal basal metabolic rate, and how far do you have to go in terms of calorie intake to get to that pro level conditioning?
Mm-hmm. And, we both know the answer to that, and it depends.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had pro level clients at the Tampa Pro stage this weekend. Their intakes varied quite a bit. My women's physique competitor, actually being in one of the leanest divisions, actually had more calories leading into the show than some of my women's bikini did. And a lot of people will attribute that to saying, well, she had more muscle, she needs more calories. And I think me and you oftentimes see the opposite. The more muscle people have, sometimes it does equate to them having a slower metabolic rate. That's how they got the muscle in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But there was at least a 700 to 800 calorie difference between my two bikini pros that hit the stage. And that's quite a bit of calories. That's like 2 different meals. So there really is a lot of variability with it. Mm-hmm. I think that's where we get lost in opinions. Well, my calories are here, why are yours there? Or sometimes we'll hear people say, I got a bikini girl diet. And these things are not really structured as a bikini figure physique setup. They're really individual per person, per body type.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's a perfect answer, because we need to bring people back to understand this is a continuum. So think of that midline. Somebody is the average. They have the average Homo sapien metabolic rate for your age, gender, etc. And then that skews 100% in either direction. And so I had a bikini pro in Tampa, and she was eating 300 grams of carbs a day leading up, doing a progressive linear load. And I have other competitors who are struggling still at 100, 125, 150 grams as a female. I should say struggling, because that's just what their body needs. But there is that variance, and it takes a lot of time to understand your body and what you need. But let me give you those stats in terms of what average really is. So a lot of studies are out there, but probably about the midline of all of them, if you look at the collective data, is that the average basal metabolic rate of a female, this spans all ages, so average adult female, is about 1,350 calories. Average adult male, 1,650 calories. Then add in the exercise, the training, the activity level, and say, okay, you need more. If you're burning 300, 400 calories a day, that moves your basal metabolic rate up to a functional metabolic rate. But then if you're in a calorie deficit, or you need to be, then of course you need to subtract that back down. So now you're back down to around that average, and you have to realize, okay, I may be kind of an ectomorph and need a little bit more. Maybe I'm a little bit of an endo or meso and kind of need less. But this is where just collecting data and experimenting and knowing your body that's the money. You got to start there.
Yeah, and as you lose weight, you're going to burn less as you move. So those are all things you need to factor in once you get to the end point of the game and the grind of contest prep.
So I will leave you guys with this as our first episode on calories for this series, Fat Loss Basics. I still have a binder this thick of every single contest diet I've been on, my off seasons for the entire 20 years I competed. And you can go back to my very first contest and there are the numbers. How many grams of protein, carbs, and fat was I eating? How much cardio? What were my photos like? What were my caliper measurements? And then later, DEXA scans, in-body scans, hydrostatic weighing, all of that body comp data is there. Now I have that I can draw from, and I know exactly what my needs are. So we're going to dive into the macros next. You guys stay tuned. We'll see you in episode 2.